Alright, this is that Krank, which came in with ages of dust and dirt all over it, so I took it outside on my front steps. First step is to brush off the worst of it, because I don't want this in my house on my bench. Then after I get the worst of it off with this brush, I'll clean it inside, where I'm not going to be having entire dust bunnies propagate at once. And when that's done, all the tube sockets get cleaned. Because if all this dust is up here up top, it's all going to be down in those sockets. And life will be a lot better for everyone concerned with all that yuck out. It's not just about making things pretty. Dust is not what you want in your electronics. It is not something that promotes good connections, etc. I do this an awful lot. All right, I flushed all the tube sockets with alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, letting that all evaporate. And I pulled this suspect filter cap out of here, C32. And it literally pulled right out on the positive side. It had never had a really good solder joint. It was just sitting in there. So the cap was probably okay, but probably had a little bit of arcing going on. And there at this capacitor here, some fugly looking solder joints there. So I'll reflow those. And this cap is going to be replaced on the board here, because there's a ground connection and the same point where that is. I might be able to get that top side with a little bit of excess, but I don't like doing that. I like having mechanical support. So, you know, again, I prefer to pull this entire thing out and do it properly, but budget's always a consideration on these things, and the owner already spent for all new tubes. New tubes installed, about ready to buy us some. Doesn't this look a lot better? Sure as hell will sound better. Got Mullard CB4004s here. Sovtech 6L6 WXT pluses here. And time to see how it do. Believe it or not, this is actually quite a good capacitor install for this, given the desire to keep this in budget. You can see I lifted one side of this 470 picofarad cap to brighten the entire amp, and per the owner's request, it will still have a lot of treble even without that one in place. And there's another one here if I need to do it some more. We shall see. Let's see what it's sounding like at this point. All right, playing this thing. I've got the master 10:30, 11 o'clock. It's about as loud as a deluxe reverb right now. And the clean channel is okay. I guess it's a little bit quieter than a deluxe reverb, but there is a hum. And if I switch to the high gain channel, there's an oscillation. Let me do that for you now. Now I've got the mid-range treble and bass around noon, pretty close. And then here's the sweep control, which does some cool things. And when the sweep set is minimum, there's not the oscillation. And you may think everything's cool, but if I'm not totally on top of the strings, it's feeding back like crazy, and I'm really not that loud, and this pickup is not prone to oscillation with other high gain amps at actual real volume that I use it at. This is coming in the preamp, and I suspect that more of those filter caps might have problems than just the one. I will revisit that and find it, but that oscillation needs to go away before this thing can really be used. So, it's very promising, but that oscillation has got to be found and nipped in the bud, Andy. Nip it in the bud.